on in. Who's coming into this the very first live show that I've ever done here on my YouTube channel. Yeah. My name is Brian Nesline. I am a psychic, clairvoyant, intuitive, spiritual card reader, oracle cards, right? And what is an oracle card anyway? It's nothing scary. It's not satanic. It's not devilish. Well, I can understand thinking that, right? But really, what is an oracle card but an image and a word? They're just images and words. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that interesting? We were just talking about how oracle cards could be all devilish and scary, but no. When we look at things like that, when we look at things in duality as good versus evil, us versus them, two powers fighting each other, like there could even be more than one power of God, source, universe. When we look at things as two opposing powers, we create that devilish, fearful thing to have to protect ourselves against. That creates an insecurity. Instead of being secure, instead of having security, we create insecurity when we think that things are evil and devilish. Now, we do know that there's just one power of the bright light shining down on everyone, like the sun, just like the sun in the sky. There's not two suns up there, is there? No, just one sun. Boom, one power animating our consciousness, our mind, our conscious mind, our secret place up here, our third eye, if you want to call it a third eye. That's what we call it in psychic land. It is our consciousness, our awareness, our spiritual space. So that one sun, that God light, is animating our heart mind. It is where we can really form images and where we can really make ideas and where we can really express them to the world, right? So we see that the devil is really just a little figment of our imagination. Look at it. It's just a little swirly, little wavy nothing, an apparition. That's why we see it here in the card looking like that. So look, oracle cards are simply words and images. Words and images. Look, words and images. The word mug and an image, a shape of a mug. We have words and images all the time. Look at this. Pikachu, words and images. Snowflake, words and images. Brian, right? So that's really all it really is. Now, what else are we going to see in this card? We're going to find out that we want to live from our heart, meaning we want to take these ideas that are in our mind and we want to make sure we are animating them or expressing them out through our heart, meaning through our actions, through our words, through our emotional expressions. And as we do that, we have nothing to fear. There's nothing to be insecure about. We create a foundation. That's what all the red is. The red is this thing called the root chakra. Now, chakras in the psychic, clairvoyant world, it's just words for separating the different energy spaces within a person. So it's a way to really make more meaning out of us as a consciousness, a spiritual being. So the red represents the color of the root chakra, the root. And the root is representative of foundation, of material foundation, or our foundation that is cemented currently in our world of beliefs. So if you have this belief that there's just one power animating your consciousness, then the devil, the opponent, kind of becomes a little ghosty ghost, right? Just a little vanish, a little wavy wave, and you can wave goodbye. And that's why the devil's laughing here in the card. He's laughing because he's like, I'm not even a real thing. They conjured me up in their consciousness, and then they believed in me. So we want to move from insecurity to inside of security. And we can do that when we know there's just one power, not two, animating in the world. We want to pull some free cards for people. This live was here to pull free cards or to have a discussion or whatever to see who's going to show up. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what we can do. Right now, I'm not seeing any messages, but if you are here, then let me know. So let's see who else is here. I want to pull little mini free cards for our highest good in this live show. This is a live streaming show. It's the first live stream I've done. I'm going to be doing more. Once I figure out how to have more people show up during it and how to figure out how to even see their comments. But these are also spiritual tips for your spiritual trip. So if you're somebody who is spiritually minded, someone who's living from within their consciousness, someone who's mindfulness, someone who's awareness, and you want to really take control of your life, right? These are the types of things for you. Look at this. So the facade card comes up. It's not about the word facade. This card is, first of all, about all the yellow chakra. What is the yellow? The yellow is the joy of knowing that we walk with other people. We walk through life with other people there to encourage us, like a father and son or a grandfather and a grandchild. We have other people there to help us along the way, encouraging us to keep our head in the clouds. That's why they're walking on top of the clouds. We want to encourage the dreams, the aspirations, the unique little viewpoints and perspectives of the people around us, of children around us, of adults around us. We want to tap the child within them and help them to rise up above their personal lives, their emotions, so they can get their head in the clouds and really bring down to earth actions that have to do with their brand new, unique ideas that every individual has running into their consciousness. So the other thing we see here is it's so enjoyable when we put our hand in another and we trust that we have this relationship with somebody who we can be vulnerable with. We can express what our lofty dreams are, what our above the cloud dreams are. And we can trust that they're going to treat us like somebody who gives a crap, right? Who is like a parent who really genuinely accepts us and loves us deep down for who we are. So this card is again reminding us that we can walk through life and we can draw on the love and the strength and the wisdom. You see, it's an older gentleman here with the kid. The wisdom of other people's experience. We can use that in order to move forward in our lives in new ways. Now, again, the yellow is one of those chakras. It's the solar plexus chakra. And in this situation, it represents the rich joy that life brings and the light of life. Even if things are winter, you can see this is a winter scene with the no leaves on the tree. Even in the winter or the late fall, there's still this light of joy that is always moving through us, and it's all going to change to a springtime before you know it. The real facade here, the facade is believing that there's two powers fighting. The facade is when we don't show our vulnerability to another, when we don't take that risk, that leap, and be like, hey, I'm going to trust somebody with my true heart's desires, my true hopes and dreams. I'm going to allow God, source, or universe to be apparent to me through other people and situations. Yeah, we're just doing mini free readings on my very first ever live on my YouTube channel. What am I doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm growing my YouTube channel because I have been inspired to give away spiritual tips for your spiritual trip, to talk about strong self-awareness, to talk about what? To talk about information that leads to transformation, to do it in a unique way that I'm inspired to do in the moment. And right now I'm using oracle cards. Oracle cards, remember, they're not evil or scary. They're just words and images. Whoa, look at all the colors on this. Now this deck of cards has so many colors. Look at all the chakra colors. We were talking about that more in the video. So we had the root chakra. We talked about that red one, the root chakra. And we had the solar plexus. You can see it with the yellow there. But there's 7 of them all together here, right? So let's take a look at our next card and see what's going to come up in this reading. But before I do that, I want to say that when we're talking about the chakras and we're talking about light, we're really talking about one power. The big idea, one really big idea in life, is to get to the point where you know that there's just one power, not two. One power animating through everybody, not two powers fighting each other, trying to make good people over here and bad people over there, or good behaviors over here and bad over there. No. Now that's all true in the way of duality. There are good behaviors and poor behaviors that are happening. But what we're talking about here is just getting off this two-power system, duality, and moving on into a different system where there's just one white light that enters the world in the rainbow of colors. Think about it. It's one power that expresses in a variety of ways. One power in a variety of ways. Through the color spectrum, here is the example. Instead of two powers that are dark versus light, black versus white, up versus down. No. Now that opposition, we can live in that mindset, but we don't have to. We can rise up above that dimension. We can move out of duality and move into this other reality where it is one power animating through everyone, and it is just what we're seeing around us isn't so much good or bad, which it is in duality. It's not so much good or bad as it is just a variety. For example, if we were to think about ways to get money, and we were to say, well, we could work for money or we could steal money. Working for money sounds like a good thing. Stealing money sounds bad. And those things are true. Stealing money is bad and wrong, right? So that's from duality. Now, if we look at it from one power, we would say, there's a variety of ways to get money, a variety. We could work for money, we could steal money, we could beg for money, and on and on. What I'm talking about is moving on to the white light one power, then you'll experience the world as a variety. It doesn't mean you're going to run out and rob a bank. No. Instead, you're going to lose all of the fear of this scary second power that somehow is going to get you. We want to get rid of all that. And that's what happens when we get out of duality. When we get out of duality, we go into the variety. One white light and a variety. So let's pull a card now that we talked about all that and see what we see. These cards are different, but again, they're still oracle cards. They have images and words. Here she is. She's walking towards the white light, what we were just talking about. She's moving out of duality. We know that because here's the black and white steps that represent duality, two powers. She's walking up those steps. She's ascending. She's ascending in thought. She's meditating on higher ideas. Ideas like one power, not two. Ideas like one power of white light entering the world as a variety. Boom. So what we're going to see here is that she's going to make it up there and she's communicating about it to other people, to herself. Now we see that communication happening by the blue. The light blue is that throat chakra. That's communication out into the world. And the darker blue is the third eye chakra. We've been talking about chakras in this live video. The third eye chakra is the indigo, and that's the inner voice. So communication within and communication without. She's communicating within herself and communicating on the outside to the world. She is going out of duality, and you can see that the blue now is on some of the steps. So she has decided to move past this two-power system of duality, and she's going to accept the white light as one power. Now let's see what the card is called. It says, I move easily and confidently through the changes in my life. I move easily and confidently through the changes in my life. And what are those changes? The ups and downs of duality. More money, less money. Oh, things are going the way I want. Oh, things aren't going the way I want. All of this. Oh, I feel emotionally calm. Oh, I'm emotionally disturbed. All of this changes in our life, the waves of duality that we live in the personal world. She is going to be easily and confidently moving through them because she is going to be on this one power system. She will ascend and rise above the day-to-day. Know that you are a light being, a light worker, a Christed one, whatever you want to call it, an awareness, a consciousness, something that is greater than the personal self. So that's that mini reading there. Now remember, I'm here. There's not a lot of people here right now in this live, but what are you going to do? This is my first live show. I'm trying to figure out how to do this more and more on my channel, and I'm going to pull one more card. I don't see any comments at this point, and that's okay, because this live will be available to rewatch, and we're going to see what we get here, right now, right here, right now, right who? Right here, right now, right who? One last little mini free card for us. And look at it, it's called projections. Now this card is all about being face-to-face in our relationships, right? You can see them. And it is about showing our spiritual self. There's the spiritual self in the front. We want to be able to know who we are as spiritual people, spiritual beings, having a limited human experience. We want to know that we are this communication system. You can see all the blue. We are this communication system that can put into the world new ideas, that can project into the world new ideas, concepts, practices, emotional information. We are doing this as individuals who are unique and one of a kind. And as we project that into the world, as we put that into the world. We interact and we create new experiences for other people. So when two people see eye to eye, they're really creating a space for their spirits and their inspirations to meet. And then they are going to not alter each other, but they are going to present unique information and emotion, light, to each other so that they can both be enriched. And we see this divine communication. There's the blue again. It's mixed in with light and dark blue, meaning these people are going within and they're feeding it out. They're going within to their conscious contact with God, source, universe, and then they're expressing it out into the world. They are living as spiritual beings having human experiences. And the number 7 down here is important. Why? Because the 7 is a number representing source, God, God the Father, the universe, God, whatever you want to call your conception of God. God as you understand God. We're talking about the same thing. There's just one power that's animating all of us. Some people call it the Christ within, on and on. But the number 7 represents that. And so what we're seeing here is this divine projection happening of life. Now, the other thing this card shows is this is really one person. This shows you and me as an individual. The individual divine feminine, we've heard the term divine feminine in the psychic reading world, and divine masculine. Now, what are we really talking about? Divine feminine isn't some weird term. Divine feminine can just mean emotion, light, energy, that emotional experience you have. If you come across a little doggy and it's wagging its tail and you feel all uplifted, oh, a little puppy, oh, a little doggy. That's the divine feminine. That's an emotional experience happening. Now, you also have the divine masculine, which is the other part that makes each one of us up. We're made out of these two pieces that are whole. They're kind of like twin flames. They are one inside of us. The divine feminine is the energy, the light, the emotional experience of life. And the divine masculine is the logic, the reason, the data, the labeling, the words, words, hands, noses, eyes, cards, oracle cards, blue, projections, the number 7, whatever. All the details, the divine masculine has those. All of the emotional experience, the divine feminine has those. These two come together and they have a conception, an immaculate conception of an experience in the world, and you're having it all day long. All day long, you're seeing things that you recognize with words and details and stories, and all day long, you're having the divine feminine emotional experience to them. So you are constantly a birth channel for immaculate projections, conceptions. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's amazing. It's amazing! So this is this first live that I did, and this channel is going to continue to deliver to you spiritual tips for spiritual trips that we are all on. You're going to get readings for free. You're going to get self-awareness principles and practices. You're going to get a whole lot of goody good goods. So subscribe to this channel, right? Share this channel. Share this live with other people. Be a part of it. Let me know in the comments what you have to say, what you want to see more of, what topics you want me to cover with the live free readings. And we're all in it together. We're going to have a great old goody good time. Thanks a lot for being here. Take care.